Hello, welcome to Leadership with Mutefe. You see, many years ago, I needed to go to the bank to get something done. And this bank was one of the first generation banks. As at then, Nigeria had some other banks that were regarded as new generation bank, but this was not one of them. This was the old generation banks who had not yet adopted the new systems of banking. So I got into the banking hall and I met this huge crowd. There was a lot of people there waiting to be attended to. So there were queues on every teller. And I had to, join one of those queues, and I was at the tail of the queue. It was going to take me 45 to 60 minutes before I was going to be attended to give you perspective of the number of people that were waiting, right? So I got in the queue, and, as the teller attended to the person at the head of the queue, we kept moving, and I waited my time. I waited for my turn, and, after 45, 50 minutes thereabout, I was just, 3, 4 persons that were now ahead of me that needed to be attended to. But something happened that I have never forgotten since that day, and this is over 10 years ago. At that moment, a senior citizen walked into the banking hall also. He needed to get something done, and this man was elderly. He would be in his 70s. And he got in, and he too saw the crowd, and you could see it in his face. So he picked the queue that I was in and, was at the back. He had to wait for his turn. Now, here is the thing. Things had changed in Nigeria, and I'm sure the elderly man knew, so he did not even bother to walk straight to the head of the queue to go to the teller. Otherwise, that would have been a more appropriate thing to do since he was elderly. We could have given him preference for him to be attended to. You see, but he knew that things had changed, so he just took his place at the back of the queue and had to wait his turn. But something in me was uneasy. I was like, this is not right. This is not how things should be. And, the teller kept attending to people right in front of me. But then I said to myself, what am I going to do about this? And I was not sure what was going to happen, because I knew, yes, the right thing to do was to ask the man to come forward. At least he could come and take my place, or he could come stand ahead of me. But I was not sure what would be the reaction from others in the queue. They've been here for, 30, 40, 50 an hour, and someone just coming to, be ahead of them. So I was not sure. There was this uneasiness that you could sense in the atmosphere. You see, but I said to myself, if I was going to make a difference, I will never know until I tried. And that is how life works. A lot of us have dreams. We want to make great differences in life, but the key is trying. Until you make an attempt, you never know how far you can go. It is those who put in all, who try to go far, that discovers how far they can go. But many people just stay there because they are afraid of the unknown. They don't know how the kind of reactions they are going to get. So I decided that I was going to try, at least try, right? And so I walked to the old man and asked him to come stay ahead of me. Everyone was watching as I went to him, and I said, "Sir, please, you can come stand in front of me at the head of the queue." And, slowly this man walked and came to my position. You see, for a moment, the banking hall was silent. And that silence lasted for what seemed like an eternity. The man came, stood in front of me, and I was like, the deed is done. What's going to be the reaction? Guess what? Nothing. Nothing happened. Nobody said anything. There was no objection. And I have been having this battle within me. But nobody said anything. You see, I believe that while I was trying to think through, while I was having that battle within me, I believe everyone in the banking hall had the same thing going on in their minds. You see, but they were afraid of what everyone else was going to do, what was going to be the reaction from others. And so they never took action. But I did. And I learned a powerful lesson that day. If you are going to make a difference in life, you've got to try. It's one of the leadership lessons you have to take away from this. You've got to try. You cannot remain in the shadows and expect that things will change by themselves. You have got to try. Right? So, as you listen to me, as you watch this video, I want you to know that the key is in trying. You will never know how far you can go until you try. So come out of the shadows and begin to do those things that you are afraid of. And begin to do those things that you think people are going to react if they see you do it. Because you really never know until you try. I believe this has added value to you. See you again for another session of Leadership with Mutsefe. Bye for now.